Shalom, Yashrala. This your brother Dawudah, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. A salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. First, I want to start off by saying, put up some prayers for the Akim that's out here in Florida. All right, as you know, right now at this point in time, we're pretty much getting hammered by this here hurricane. And as you can see on this here little map right here, it's pretty much covering all of the state of Florida, all at the same time. And you'll hear it in the background. It's just loud outside. But hey man, we got the area I'm in, we got like super high winds right about now, man. So, but hey, call halal Yahabashim Yahushua, man. I ain't been without power for more than a minute or so. The power keeps blinking on and off, on and off. But so far so good. All right. But I wanted to jump into this here lesson. All right, let me close this off the screen because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But anyway, I wanted to jump into this here lesson based off of I was about to put up a video about this, going into these judgments and everything else like that. But watching some of these videos in the background and looking at the comments, it's funny the fact that a lot of these people are talking about how things are fake, the CGI and green screen and everything else like that. And I'm like, a lot of these people, how they say, they say misery loves company, wickedness loves company as well too, man. All right, everybody wants to go off if everything is fake, and this isn't that. I call it cognitive dissonance. They don't want to. Well, let's grab it. Well, let me see. This is the book of John, John 3:19. All right. And this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doth evil hated the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. A lot of people like to, like scripture also say, the blind leading the blind. A lot of people like to be in this here darkness because it helps them sleep better at night, for lack of better terms, man. All right. It helps them out into the sense of, not coming to the truth because, again, they would be exposed. But you know how they have a saying in the world that says misery loves company. Hey, man, you have to understand that you out here dealing with a bunch of these damn demons, man. All right. Like I said, I can look outside my damn window. I don't even have to look out my window, man. I've been hearing this since 2 o'clock this morning. All right. We're getting hammered all day long, and it's still going on, man. All right. You could probably hear it in the background, but, just watching the little live on the news and reading the comments, I'm over here looking at all these people talking about how things are fake. And I'm just like, the majority of these people just, see, the power just went out again and came back on. Call halal Yahabashim Yahushua. But a lot of these people out here talking about that this is fake and everything else like that in the comments. It's like, a lot of y'all is just, I get it. A lot of y'all just like, want to be assholes and put things like that just because, and you probably somewhere in the middle of Kansas, you know what I'm saying, trying to get your little shine on or whatever, man. All right, but then you also have some other people that are in some of these other counties or not so far from us and things like that. I was seeing some that was saying up in Tampa, we're in Tampa, we're not seeing too much going on there. But like, hey man, just because you're not right there in the the belly of the beast right now going on, don't mean that these things ain't going on out there, man. So hey man, just like into this here truth. Let me grab this real quick and we'll come back to. Well, let me read this precept first. Salakia, let me get this precept real quick. And of course, the internet would just go down. Like I forgot the power just blinked, but matter of fact, it's Proverbs 28, I believe it is. Yep, Proverbs 28:5. It says, "Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things." All right, and so hey, they that evil men understand not judgment. You have a lot of people that, to give a comparison to the things that's going on with the storms and things like that. Versus the men of the Lord going on the highways and the byways, been warning you and telling you about these things coming to pass, man. The Lord gave us the eyesight to be able to see these things. We see these things coming to pass, and what we've been out there warning you about these things, man. All right, but yet you have people that's, oh, we don't believe that. You guys are wasting your time, wasting your life, and everything else like that, man. All right, I think it was last week on Friday, it may have been. I was going out and I realized that there was something going on. All right, because as I was going out, to the store, just as a regular, stopping by the store scenario, I noticed that there was a long ass line. Like, what are all these people out here doing? Why are y'all getting propane? What's going on? Is there a big ass football game or something going on? Then you look at the gas pump and there was no gas at the gas station, trying to figure out what's going on. Come to find out, oh, there's a hurricane. You got all these people evacuating and things like that, man. All right. So, just looking at the signs, you'd be able to perceive certain things, whereas you had people that didn't realize what was going on in the last minute. All right. Like the scriptures say, let me find it real quick. And what is that? First Thessalonians 5. Yep. First Thessalonians 5:1, it says, "But at the times and the season, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." Let me jump down. Let me keep reading. Verse 3, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness that they should overtake thee." You have people that are, oblivious to these things, that don't know what's going on. All right. You wouldn't want people, using this storm as a perfect example. You wouldn't want people, or, you should always plan your trips and things out. You wouldn't want people to, well, let's go on vacation to Florida right now. Let's go to the beach and everything else like that. Then all of a sudden you wind up out here and then it's a goddamn hurricane, man. All right. And like, where did that come from? All right. Because you wasn't watching. All right. You got caught like a thief in the night. All right. You got caught off guard. All right. And just like, the people that was out here left lacking, not watching, maybe they, oh, I don't watch the news. I don't want to see all that negativity and things like that. And they have certain things going on in their life. Maybe let's just say last night or the night before they went out, because, yesterday, it was drizzling, light drizzles. There's the power again. Call hello, yeah, how about you? Shot back on again. But anyway, it was light drizzles all day yesterday. It wasn't all that bad. Let's say you go out on the boat overnight or something like that, man. You out in the water right now, you stuck like Chuck. But this is how it's going to come up upon people, man. All right, this is judgment. All right, and these hurricanes, which we're going to get into, is also part of judgment. But it's kind of ironic, and it's a spiritual thing that it's a video, looking and reading in the comment sections, all right, of the live feeds of the hurricane. You have all these people talking about how fake this was and everything else. And I thought about it with the men of the Lord, been out here prophesying and preaching about these things, and the disbelief. All right, let not the incredulity of those trouble thee, roughly paraphrasing. All these people saying all these different things. The vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right, it's they laugh now, but sorrow later. All right, all these different things, man. All right, we know that the Lord sends forth these things as judgments, but hey, man, you have some people that, oh, it ain't gonna be all that bad, it ain't gonna be this, it ain't gonna be that, man. Now, one of the worst things that could happen to you in these hurricanes is the fact of the matter is, you can be without power. All right, now being without power can be a horrible thing here in the state of Florida, because, man, you get that humidity. All right, you start sweating to death up in this bad boy, man. And you don't want to be uncomfortable like that, man. And, your house may not get blown away. The roof may not get peeled back. You may not be in floods, but let your power go out for some days on end and see how that really works out for you, man. And you out there just sweating it out inside your house, man. All right. But, hey, nevertheless, these people, again, like I said, they laugh now, but they're going to sorrow later, man, because this is all judgments from the Lord. But, hey, how much more in a greater scheme of things, the fact of the matter that these people want to laugh and joke about the prophets of the Lord, but then all of a sudden, they have that huge storm. Oh, hello, how about you? Lights came back on again. Hey, but see, just like that, man, you don't know when the lights are gonna go out. You don't know when it's gonna hit, and you don't know how long it's gonna be out for, man. All right, so hey, man, just in this video alone, lights went out. There we go, 4 times, but they came right back on. Call hello, how about you? But you don't know when judgment's gonna strike you, man. All right, you don't know when it's going to come, how it's going to come, and how bad it's going to be. But, these people are going to get caught like a thief in the night, man. All right, but we're aware of these things, man. We understand how these things are coming to pass, because, look, the Lord gave us this here understanding to be able to warn you with, man. All right, and apparently there's some crazy shit going on, because the lights just constantly blinking on and off, on and off, on and off. But, hey, nevertheless, we know that the Lord is going to protect us, man. The Lord is going to guide us, man. The Lord is going to keep us, man. But those that take these things lightly, they're going to be, left out there to dry. All right. In this case, they're going to be soaked out there. They're going to be drowned out there in these things. But, hey, man, the Lord's elect is going to be the ones that's going to be protected, throughout all these things. There we go again. But, hey, nevertheless, I wanted to get into this here topic because, like I said, the Lord sends forth these judgments, and part of these storms and things and these tempests are what? The Lord's judgments that's going forth, man. All right. And, like I said, you could probably hear it in the background. So Salaki for that. I can't really control those things. But hey, it's not a very pleasant thing to be in. You see high winds, trees blowing all over the place, water rising up around you, power goes out and everything else like that, man. And this is ultimately how these terrors are going to rise up amongst the wicked, man. All right. From all the way around, man. You're going to be scattered out there, man. All right. Let me go and grab, matter of fact, there's a precept. I want to say it's, what's that? Proverbs 29. It's something it's uh, maybe that's not it. Wait a minute. Give me 1 second. Oh, we already read this. Never mind. But yeah, let me just continue on with this. Proverbs 28 and 5. If it come back to me, I'll remember where it's at. It says, "Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things." All right. So evil men understand not judgment. People will wonder, how can these things happen to those folks and everything else like that? Now, granted, you know, I didn't, people are preparing for storms and everything else like that. A lot of these homes around here are boarded up. All right. A lot of these people have their generators and everything else like that, and a lot of people evacuated and things like that. And then, some people look at certain things like, well, how come, certain people in certain scenarios, like, well, you didn't board up your house, but then the neighbors across the street, their whole house look like Fort Knox. All right. They got their generators and everything else like that. How come, their house get, a tree fall on their house and your house, nothing happen in your house and everything else like that. Hey man, it's all the Lord's will, man. The Lord is behind all these different things. You don't understand judgment, man. These things is the most high accuracy is 100%, man. He hits who he wants to hit and he pass over those that he wanted to pass over, man. So you have to understand that these things are all judgments from the Lord. All right. You can have certain people in certain areas be like, hey man, I was fine the whole time. I don't know about you guys. We didn't lose power at all. But then somebody right down the street at the other end of the block, wound up losing power. I remember the last big hurricane at the end of my street. Those people was without power for 2 days. All right, we never lost power at all. All right, and like I said here, we keep losing power, but I just had since this video been on and lost power 4 times, but it ain't been off for longer than this 4 or 5 seconds. But hey, call halal how about Shem Shah for that, man. All right, so hey, this is all the Lord's judgment, and that's what men they they don't understand. That's the part that they leave out. How come these things happen to those folks and so on and so forth, man? Or how come, sometimes the wicked, um, matter of fact, let me see. It's actually in Job. We'll grab that. Lord's will grab that. But how come the wicked don't get punished for certain things? Hey, you never know that their judgment is stacked up. All right, they're gonna get it all at once, just like Babylon the Great, man. All right, they're gonna get it all at one point in time. But then you have the elect that's been how do you say, preserved from these things, man. All right, these are the things in the spiritual realm that people don't take into consideration. The things that are so-called sown in the spiritual realm are reaped in the physical realm. All right, so hey, you have people that's talking about, oh, how come they prepared and this happened to them over there, but then you didn't prepare? Hey man, we were prepared in the spiritual way, man. All right, but those people weren't prepared. They put their trust in man. All right, and the Lord showed them that they don't have no power against him, man. So hey man, you have to take these things all into consideration. But let me go from there to what is that? Isaiah 29. Oh, there's something in here too. But let me go back to Isaiah 28. All right, yeah, here we go. Let me read this from verse 1 because you had the same story just pretty much wreak havoc out there in Puerto Rico as well too. So it says, "Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkard of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valley of them that are overcome with wine." All right, Ephraim is a lot of all of Jake really, but Ephraim being the head of the Northern Kingdom are infatuated with all these different idols, man. And I can guarantee you got a lot of these Northern Kingdom Jakes that's not just in Puerto Rico, but here in America, or here in Florida right now, that's probably hunkered down and praying to the what you call that thing, uh, the little Maria, All right, the or Virgin Mary. All right, they got their little candles and everything else lit, praying to be protected over by these things, man. But they don't realize that these things are coming as judgments from the Lord. All right, and why they get torn up so damn bad, man. All right, Puerto Rico is pretty much still destroyed from the hurricane that hit them a couple years back, but yet and still, they getting leveled one more time. I believe Cuba got hit pretty hard too, Ephraim and Manasseh. All right, so going into verse 2, it says, "Behold, Yahweh hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of a mighty water overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand." All right, and that's what you have in these hurricanes, man. All right, a tempest of hail. All right, you have that happen sometimes. We have hailstorms, but it says and a destroying storm and a flood of a mighty water. All right, now you have certain places that's lower than where I'm at, like Naples and stuff like that, that they were saying that you pretty much had major flooding out there, man. And I believe up in the Tampa Bay area, Tampa Bay, pretty much all the water got sucked out from up there, man. So you could pretty much walk pretty much far out into the beach on dry land. Not to say dry land, but where there's no water. All right, typically you'd be waist deep, neck deep, and everything else below that, but you can walk out on, to where your feet ain't even covered in water, man. All right, so the water's getting sucked out there, which they have to worry about all that water coming back on in on them. All right, but and lower, but beneath me, all right, you had all that was pretty much up underwater, man. A lot of that, got the roads and everything completely flooded, cars turned upside down and everything. And right now, we've been getting hit with these heavy winds all damn day, man. All right, we had the highest winds that they had in this whole area, man. All right, we got a pretty much direct hit right where we at. But hey, the Lord is watching over his elect, man. All right, Lord will, I'm a part of that number. Hey, the Lord knows how to, like I said, the Lord has got 100% accuracy rate, man. All right, so if the Lord seems to pass over you, all right, no matter, in the eyes of these people, no matter how much that they prepare for certain things, hey, the Lord can still take them out. And no matter how little you seem to prepare in their eyes, hey, the Lord can preserve you of all these things, man. All right. Let me go look for this precept real quick. Isaiah 29:6, it says, "Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise." Now, Mexico was just rocked with a major earthquakes, I believe, last week. You had buildings swaying and everything else like that, man. All right. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise." All right. Now, if you ain't never been in a hurricane before, now if I was on the other side of my house, you would probably hear, and especially like if the wind was blowing the other way. But between the houses, they have this death-defying sound with the high winds, where it sounds like it's a damn freight train. The train whistle whoo blowing from the wind just blowing between the houses, man. Now you could probably hear that's just trees just blowing outside and everything else like that. But if I was to go around one of the other uh, go around, one of the other windows on the side of the house or something like that, you'll probably hear that death-defying sound. All right, you wake up in the middle of the night, you hearing that, you ain't never been in a hurricane. That's one of the things that freak people out the most. All right, being in their first hurricane, hearing those sounds of like a freight train coming down a damn road, the wind vibrating every damn thing, the windows and everything else like that, man. All right, these great noises, man. All right. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with great earthquakes and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire." All right. And also, because we've been getting, the water Yahweh Shem Shah, and there's that sound right there, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but, there's the whistle. But nevertheless, the water Yahabashim Shah, the location where I'm at, we not getting as much rain, as some of the other places. Now it's been raining on and off, on and off, on and off since damn near yesterday. All right. But as far as a constant rain, it's, every time it stopped raining, it's enough time for the ground to soak up the water and everything. All right. So it's just not like the water's piling up on the road and flooding and everything. Here in Florida, we flood pretty damn fast. If we get, typically it rains like every day, but it don't rain more than 15 to 20 minutes at a time. But hey, the Lord is like I said, the Lord is merciful, man. All right, for his elect. But then again, in certain areas, people wonder, like, damn, man, our car got flipped over and the whole road is underwater. Our car's underwater. We got flood damage. Hey, man, like I said, the Lord is 100% accurate with his hits, man. All right. But hey, these are all judgments of the Lord. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with great earthquakes great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. All right. And so, hey, again, these are all parts of the Lord's judgment, man. All right. And like I said, just the fact of the matter, like where I'm at now, you can't even see out. There's, no windows to actually look out of, but you can literally hear all the sounds going on around you, man. All right. So if you didn't know what was going on, just that death defying sound of all that wind that's just blowing like that, man. All right. That people will be frightened of those things. You never know if there's going to be a tree that's going to come crashing through the wall. All right. Crashing through your roof. If small debris, people's lawn, stuff that's in people's lawns, little lights and everything like that's going to come flying around. If your car going to get rolled over, you don't know what's going to happen. But hey, we have, faith in the Lord that, hey, the Lord's going to protect us in all these things. All right. But again, evil men, they don't understand judgment, man. They don't understand that all these things happen to them because, they walk around with that pride. All right. Matter of fact, let me see if that's the same one. I was thinking of a certain verse, but, maybe it was Proverbs 29. Give me 1 second. Let me look up this, all right, here we go right here. Hold on. Yeah, verse 23, Proverbs 29 and 23 says, a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. All right. So, hey, a man's pride shall bring him low. All right. These, people saying that, that this isn't going to touch me. This is going to go over past me and everything else like that, man. Oh, I can do this and I can preserve myself from these certain things. But lo and behold, man, the Lord knows how to uproot you, man, to stir you up and everything else like that, man. All right. Um, Let me look up something real quick. And I could have read this whole thing, but I'm gonna just get to the point. Um, yeah, I was kind of quoting this earlier about how these judgments are gonna come down upon Esau, man. All right, and it's indicative to a storm, right? So let me just start up from here. All right, because hey, just like the aftermath of these storms, there's just straight devastation. You don't know what was what and where was where and how all these things started, man. Things are just scattered all the way abroad, and making a comparison to these storms is going to be how Esau's judgment ultimately comes into play. But this is Job 27 and 13. Um, this is the portion of the wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of the oppressor, which they shall receive of the Almighty. And if his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. And those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. Though he heap up silver and dust, and uh, prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide his silver. He buildeth a house as a moth, and as a booth that the keeper maketh. All right. The rich man shall lie down, and he shall not be gathered. His eyes, so like he opened his eyes, and he is not. Terror shall take hold on him as waters. A tempest stealeth him away in the night. And the east wind carrieth him away, and he departeth as a storm, hurleth him out of his place. For the Most High shall cast upon him, and not spare. He would fain flee out of his hands, and men shall clap their hands at him and shall hiss at him out of his place. So just like how a devastating storm can come and stir up your whole neighborhood, you see sometimes the aftermath of these hurricanes and tornadoes where the whole neighborhood is flat and you don't know what is what and where is where. That's how Esau is going to be ultimately taken out of, man. All right. But hey, man, the Lord has his way in the tempest and the storm, man. The Lord has his judgment by way of, what they will call natural disasters and things like that, man. All right. So as you have these things that's going on, and you wonder why, you look at the so-called aftermath of these things, come tomorrow or the day after, and you see what's going on and how much damage is done, and people are looking at, the devastation that has been caused, man. That's going to be a comparison to Esau, man. He's going to be totally wrecked, man. You're not going to be able to find the head from the tail, man. A lot of the times when you see like hurricanes or tornadoes come through like a trailer park or some shit like that, or neighborhoods, when you see a piece of a roof or some wood and everything, you don't know where that 2x4 came from, if that was a roof truss or if that was a floorboard, man. You don't know if that was a doorpost or if that was a piece of furniture, man. You just know, hey, it's just a piece of something. We don't know what it was a piece of. We just know it was a piece of something. All right, the same way Esau is going to be taken up out of here, man. The same way that these storms come and thrust things through. All right, but nevertheless, hey, as we have these things going on, you know, these things are all signs of what the Lord's judgment, man. And like I started out speaking about in that Proverbs, how men don't understand judgment. Going back into those what you call it, those comments and those videos, everybody talking about how fake these things are, man. Hey, I'm gonna close out with this real quick because where's that, Matthew? Matter of fact, let me read this first one more time, and then we'll read that. Proverbs 28:5, it says, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. So, hey, evil men don't understand judgment. Going back into those comments on those the comment boards of the news and everything, and how they talking about how this is fake and CGI and everything else like that, man. They don't have the eyes to see these things, and they're like, oh, they talking about these things. And I'm like, I'm watching the news, and it's like they talking about my county. They talking about a city that's very close to where I'm at, 10-15 minute drive from where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? They talking about how the winds is all extra high and it's all devastating out there. I'm like, but I can just, you can probably even hear it in the background. Like, I can tell you that this shit that they talking about ain't fake, because if it's like this at my house and that's only 15 minutes away from where I'm at, bro, it's like, I can tell you what's going on. But hey, you have these, so-called keyboard warriors in a basement somewhere in Colorado, Kansas, bumfuck Egypt, putting in their 2 cents. All right, but hey, again, like we always say, Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. All right, because this is only for the elect's sake. But let me just get to the point here. Well, I guess I got to start up a little bit. It says, Matthew 13:13. Therefore speak out to them in parables, because they see and see not, and hear and hear not, neither do they understand. All right, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Elias, which saith, by hearing you shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing shall see and shall not perceive. So, hey, going into these things, Isaiah was saying basically they were their eyes were or their ears were dull of hearing, all right, and all these different things. All right, it says seeing they see not, and hearing they hear not. All right, so just like those folks in the videos that was talking all that shit at the bottom of the comments, oh, that's fake, that's CGI, they over dramatizing all these different things and everything else like that, man. It's the same way that these people talk about the men of the Lord, when they're out there, when we're out there prophesying about these things. Oh, y'all take things out of context, this and that, and they don't realize, man. But hey, their eyes they weren't blessed to see these things, man. All right, like, look, bro, y'all can say this is being dramatized and everything else like that. How the hell are you gonna speak on the county and the city where I'm at right now, telling me what the fuck the weather is like outside? I'm out here looking at it, and you over in Kansas somewhere, or all in a whole nother country somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But or I've seen other places too where it was like they were in Florida, but they was like not even in the area where the hurricane was at. They are all the way up north somewhere. It's like, oh, it's I'm out here sunbathing right now. I'm just at the store right now. I'm like, yeah, fucker, you ain't in where the hurricane at. I mean, we right here. We got a direct hit. We getting directly hit. You know what I'm saying? And you talking about something that's clear up there. So what? They not talking about where you at. We talking about where we at. But nevertheless, you listen to the voices like these folks like this, man. All right, they don't have the eyes to see. You don't want to put your trust into people like that, man. All right, give you an example. You don't have the light. All right, we in the dark. We trying to guide people. You got somebody in the blind leading the blind. You got somebody in the dark with no light trying to tell you which direction to go in. When the God is walking around with the light, telling you, hey, there's a snare right there, man. How you know it's a snare right there? Because I got a goddamn light and I can see. You listen to don't worry about him. He fear mongering. Well, y'all both in the dark, bro. What the hell are you talking about? But nevertheless, hey, this is not for them, man. This is for the elect's sake, man. All right, you should take heed to these things, man. Just like getting your lamp oil. All right, being prepared for these things, man. All right. It says verse 15, for this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears dull of hearing, and their eyes have they closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them. Matter of fact, let me what am I looking for? Uh, give me 1 second. or was it First Corinthians 5:3? No. Give me a second. Let me find this real quick. All right. Nevertheless, I might have to look this here up real quick. Let me go back to this, and I'll try to find this in a second. Oh, here it is. 2 Corinthians 4:3. All right, this is 2 Corinthians 4:3. It says, "But if our gospel be hid," matter of fact, I'm gonna read this in the NLT. All right. Matter of fact, let me finish this off, and we'll come back to that. All right, because it'll run perfect with that. All right, going back to this Matthew 13:15. All right, it says, "For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have they closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and they should understand with their heart and should be converted, and I shall heal them." All right, so hey, the Lord has got them blinded for this situation, man. All right, got it to the point to where you're not gonna be able to see these things. All right, because ultimately, I'm not sure if we read it or not, but like, we'll grab it real quick. Verse 16, "But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear." All right, let me grab 1 Thessalonians 5, start at the top. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." All right, so hey, blessed are your eyes for seeing these things, man. All right, because you don't want to get caught off guard like a thief in the night, man. Like I said, using this hurricane is a perfect example. What happens if, let's say you was a woman or something like that, right? And you planning your wedding, all right, and it's your biggest day. You know how women feel about their weddings and everything. It's their biggest day and everything else like that. They plan their wedding, invited all their friends. It's the talk of the town and everything. And they decided to go get married on the beach in Florida. And this was the weekend that they chose. All right, but just like a lot of simple women, they don't want to hear the details into a lot of things. And guess what? They came down here, took off, spent all this money on the wedding, and invited all their friends, and it's gonna be on the beach. And lo and behold, there was a hurricane this weekend. They never even checked the weather forecast, man. Get caught like a thief in the night, man. You don't want to get caught unaware like that, man. You don't want to get caught like like these people. There were some people. I know a lot of people who don't watch the news. I had a relative recently just called me, told me something they didn't even know there was a storm coming, and somebody happened to tell them, and they just like, oh, I don't watch the news, this and that. I'm like, look, man, I was watching the news, and they was talking about how the people out on the island, they had to evacuate because they were going to be going underwater and everything else like that. People in mobile homes and RVs, they sent out text messages saying that you had to evacuate, all right, because of such a high winds and everything. You was probably going to get destroyed out there. All right, now imagine people who don't want to hearken, listen to the news, and take heed to these things, and even not even, like I said, not even listening to the news. They were sending out text messages. They even sent out phone calls, man. All right, in a certain area. Well, I know in my area, we got phone calls and text messages. Man, we was getting alerts all goddamn day about evacuating and everything else like that in certain areas. If you was in mobile homes and stuff, you had to evacuate. And if you were out on the islands, you had to evacuate, mandatory. Now, imagine if you was ignoring those things, man, and all of a sudden you out there in a damn island, and you in an RV mobile home park or something like that, and your shit get blown over, man. And you trying to go out there, oh, somebody help me, somebody help me. Hey, the same must know it after death by pain. This is just a small example of the things that are coming to pass, man. All right. It says, let me start back at the top. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that uh, the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. And when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake thee as a thief." All right, so hey, we've been watching these things from the beginning, man, taking heed of the Lord, hearkening, man. But then you have people, again, like I said, with this hurricane scenario, that don't want to hearken, don't want to listen, don't want to take heed. But then guess what? Getting caught out there in the storm, man. All right, hey, you want to be well prepared for all these things coming to pass, man. All right, you want to be when I say prepared, again, you take a look at me and my house versus the house across the street, man. They look like Fort Knox over there, man, and we look like the stupid ones out here, man. But hey, we actually, more protected than them. All right, calling on that name and having faith in the Lord, man. All right, but hey, you don't want to get caught out there like a thief in the night, man. All right, because look, when they talking about peace and safety, you think everything is perfectly fine. Then all of a sudden, you find yourself in the middle of a goddamn storm. All right, now let me go ahead and close out with this. Stock here. Let me read this in the NLT. 2 Corinthians 4:3. It says, if you know, so going into the gospel, but it says in the NLT, if the good news we preach is hidden behind a veil, it is hidden only from the people who are perishing. So, you know, like those people that are on those comment boards and everything else, talking about CGI and over dramatizing certain things. This is fake, that's fake, fake news and everything else like that. Now, granted, you know, those are the people that's there to lead you astray. But how much more the people that's just going to sit there and just listen to that word? Because like the scriptures say, you know, man, I got to grab it real quick. We ain't got nothing else better to do right now anyway, man. It's a goddamn hurricane going on outside. This is Isaiah 19:9. All right. Salaki, Isaiah 30. Hold on. Isaiah 30:9. It says, this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, but speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit. So, hey, our people like to hear the smooth things. They like to hear deceit. They like to hear the common words. Everything is going to be all right. You ain't got to worry about this. You ain't got to worry about that. Hey, you got people out there telling you it ain't going to be no chip. Ain't going to be no Jacob's trouble. Ain't going to be this. Ain't going to be that. And they got you in a so-called dreamland, a bubble of quote-unquote safety and certainty that you're going to be, everything's going to be fine. Now, when you come into the fold of the Lord, yeah, you have that faith that everything's going to be fine. The Lord's going to take care of you. But these people are just, hey, we just gonna be out here winging it. Everything gonna be good for us, man. And that's how you find yourself, then like I said, didn't show they know a prophet had been among them. That's how you find yourself out there. Again, using a storm as an example. There's been, they have a talk of the, how they say, it's talk of the town with these certain types of people out here. They're like, I ain't going nowhere. I didn't rode out so many storms to survive so many of these things. But this dumbass is living in a goddamn trailer park or RV right there on the ocean side, you know what I'm saying, and get blown away. Their whole house, that's where you be seeing them houses destroyed, because the majority of these homes in Florida are built for hurricanes anyway. But nevertheless, hey, man, shit can get bad out there, man. All right, but yet you get these people that, again, that cognitive dissonance, that don't want to hearken, don't want to listen. All right, so these are the things that come up upon them. All right, so let's go back to that second Corinthians real quick. I don't know why I keep doing that. 2 Corinthians 4:3. It says, if the good news or the gospel we preach is hidden behind a veil, it is hidden only from the people who are perishing. So, hey, if you can't get this is only because you're going to be one of the ones that's going to have to learn after death by pain. Speaking of our people, the wicked ain't going to get it no way. But, hey, if they, like we read earlier, if they be multiplied, it's for the sword anyway. All right. It says, if the good news we preach is hidden behind a veil, it is hidden only from the people who are perishing. Satan, who is the god of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. They don't understand that this message is about the glory of Hamashiach, who is the exact likeness of the Most High, Yahweh. So, hey, just like, a prime example, a spiritual example of watching the news, right? Now, we always say, last week, we had a young Jake rode up to camp and wanted to listen. And I was breaking it down to him like, hey, man, you know about the weatherman telling us about this hurricane is coming, right? He's telling you beforehand, trying to give him the understanding of what a prophet does and the prophecies are. All right. He understood that concept, that when you use metaphors, all right, and similitudes, right? He understood that and grasped that, right? But, hey, in this here point in time, just like watching the little news, you have people that are sitting here making jokes of these things like, well, wait a minute, you over here mocking and scoffing. All right, just like the men of the Lord, you out there mocking and scoffing when you have the messenger, the spiritual weatherman. But in that case, you have the real weatherman talking about it's over dramatized, it's CGI. We don't see this going on out here. It ain't because it's not in my particular neighborhood. You 5 counties north, you know what I'm saying? Or way north or way on the other side. Like, bro, look at the map. You're not getting hit right now, bro. We just talking about this here area where we getting hit by the belly of the beast right now. Like, motherfucker, this shit going on outside. I don't know what you talking about. But see, those be the same people, all right, that the Lord has blinded so that they can fulfill their They're a lot. All right. Knowing in the last days it should come. Let's just say it. Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 3, it says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days, knowing this first, there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lust. All right. In the NLT, most importantly, I will remind you that in the last days, scoffers will come mocking the truth and following their own desires. All right. Their own desires of a false a safety. All right. And all these different things. But hey, these falsehoods is going to be their own demise. All right. So, hey, like, we're reading, hey, if the gospel be hid, is hid to those that are lost or those that are perishing anyway, man. All right. Because look, the signs are around about. Going back to the weatherman is showing you the radar, the things that's going on, like how we go into the scriptures and show you the prophecies and everything else like that. He's showing you all the weather forecast and all the information you need to know with all the technology. He's showing you all those things. We showing you all the prophecies and things like that. Now, granted, like I said beforehand, come last Friday, I knew something was popping off before I even heard about the hurricane, before I even saw it on the news. I knew something was going on. Why? Because I could measure the times diligently and look at the signs that was going on around, man. I was going out and about and happened to pass by the gas station and seen a long ass line outside by the propane tanks. Like, what the hell they out there getting propane? What? I didn't even know they was getting propane at the point. I thought they was out there for something different. What the hell they out there doing? Are they getting propane? What's up with all these people getting propane? Is it a goddamn big football game and everybody grilling? Is it a holiday? What's going on? Then you look at the gas pump and ain't no gas at the gas station. Damn, they out of gas. The next gas station, they out of gas. The next one is like, what's going on? And just joking, going inside the damn gas station, talking to the folks like, damn, what's going on? Is the apocalypse or something I didn't forgot about? Then, they start talking about the hurricane and everything else like that. Then, it's like, oh, apparently we in the, in the path of this here hurricane. So being able to see the signs going on around you, man, just like the signs that you see going on around, we tell you about the wars and rumors of wars. We can give you all the breakdowns, but then how much more are you going outside? You can see the things going on with the Ukraine, all right, the Nord Stream pipeline, the nukes getting prepared, nations getting prepared for all these different things. How much more of these things are going to be obvious signs for you out and about and around you, man? All right, people can't understand these things, but hey, it's the obvious, man. All right, but again, if the gospel be hid, is hid to the it's hidden unto those that are lost, man. The ones that are set up to perish, man. All right, and then you're gonna also have those that are just set up to scoff in the last days, man, walking after their own lust. Motherfuckers talking about some, oh man, this is CGI, it's fake and everything. But come outside right now, man. Come out to where I'm at. All right, we've been hearing, like I said, I don't know, I doubt you probably can hear the sounds going around me, but it's pretty damn loud outside. We've been hearing this shit since 2 o'clock this morning, and it's been going all damn day long, man. All right, so hey, hey, blessed are your eyes for see the things that you see and hear the things that you hear. All right, because hey, this is for you. All right, this ain't for them. All right, if they don't see these things, hey, they slated for destruction. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and our will. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Amen. Put up prayers for the Aki that's out here in Florida, man. All right. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.